Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to show you 5 very basic tarp shelters that anyone can do with a little practice. These will all be done with a 10x10 tarp, a handful of tent stakes, a little bit of cordage, and 2 trekking poles. There will be links in the description on the tarp itself and the knots I use. I will not be going over those in this video as I've done them in the past. That's enough chit chat. Let's show you how to pitch these 5 shelters. This is the AFrame tarp pitch. It's a very simple and quick shelter to set up, and I'm going to show you how it's done. You start by taking one of the 4 corners and going almost into that first tie out and stake it out. Along that same edge, go to your other corner and do the same. Next, you want to come to the total opposite side, do the same, but pull tight off that first stake. Coming in almost to that second tie out and straight off that other corner. You then come to that center tie out along your ridge and pull it up tight. Tie a marlin spike hitch and insert that through your tie off point. Insert your trekking pole and pull tight. And simply adjust your trekking pole to add the required tension. Tie another marlin spike hitch. Insert your stake and stake it out. Next, you simply repeat the process on the other side. A piece of cordage, a trekking pole, and a stake. Tie a marlin spike hitch, slide that through the tarp tie out, insert your trekking pole, pull tight, and adjust the trekking pole accordingly. While adjusting this trekking pole, you also want to be pulling off the opposing one. Again, another marlin spike hitch. Insert your stake, keeping tension, stake it out. As with any tarp pitch, there will always be some slack when you're done. Simply go around, readjust your stakes, and get everything nice and tight. This is a very basic and quick tarp shelter, giving you ample space to sleep 2 with gear, 1 really comfortably, and enough protection to weather any storm. This is the LeanTo. 4 stakes, 2 trekking poles, and a bit of cordage. You got a 100 square foot shelter. I'll show you how it's done. For the LeanTo, it doesn't get much easier. You simply start by staking out the back 2 corners. For the second corner, you pull off that first stake you inserted, insert your second, stake it out. Adjust your trekking poles to the max height. Stand up your trekking pole, pulling off the back corner and out on a bit of an angle. By pulling out on that angle, it adds tension to the tarp and allows it to stand on its own. Then you simply repeat the process on this side. Insert your marlin spike hitch, insert your trekking pole, pull tight, get your tension off all other 3 corners, out on an angle, and stake it out. The LeanTo is another very simple and quick shelter. It's no 5-star accommodation, but you could sleep 4 and gear in here, no problem, or 1 with all the space you need. This is a great option if you're caught in a sudden rainstorm, need a quick shelter that'll provide you coverage. Behind me here is the Plow Point. This is one of my favorite shelters. I'm going to show you how to set it up. For the Plow Point, you're going to want to lay your tarp out in a diamond and stake out this back corner, making sure your stake's back and on a 45-degree angle away from the tarp. You then come to the front point, and like the other pitches, do a marlin spike hitch. Insert that through your tarp and insert your trekking pole. Generally, you'd want this pitched at head height. I don't have the trees in my yard to do that, so trekking pole it is. Keeping tension off that back stake, you then stake out the front. Next, you come to one of the loose corners, insert your stake into the loop and simply stake it out. At this point, don't worry if everything's a little loose and flappy. This third stake on the next corner really tightens everything up. This is another very basic, very simple shelter that goes up in literally minutes. Not to mention, it's one of my primary go-to shelters when I'm tarp camping. It's super simple, it's really quick, and provides you coverage on 3 sides. You can easily sleep 2 people and gear, or 1 as a palace, which is how I usually roll. Beside me here is the Tetrahedra. This is a fully enclosed, 3-sided tarp pitch. It may sound and look complicated, but I promise you this one's really basic, and I'm gonna show you how it's done. You simply wanna stake out the back 2 corners, just like your lean-to. Pull tight off that first stake, keeping tension, stake it out. For the third and final stake, bring in your corners to meet each other. Stick the stake through both, pull tight, and stake it out. The next step on a hot day such as this is not much fun, but crawl inside. Find your center. Extend your trekking pole to pick up the slack, and you're done. For the loose flappy doorway, when there's wind, it will drive you absolutely crazy. My solution's a piece of paracord. Crawl inside, grab that piece of paracord, and bring it just inside. And that will secure your door and keep them flapping in the wind. This pitch offers you complete and total coverage on all sides. Spacious enough for 1 plus your gear, maybe a dog, but I wouldn't say 2 people. And if privacy's your thing, you're good to go. Behind me is another very basic, very simple shelter, the lean-to with a ground sheet. I'm gonna show you how it's done. Start pitching the lean-to with a ground sheet. You wanna run your ridge of your tarp horizontal and stake out either side. Like all the other pitches, you want to keep nice, straight, tight lines. Once you've staked out both horizontal ends, you fold this end under. Not over, under. Next, you want to adjust your trekking pole accordingly. So I'd say about there. Insert your marlin spike hitch and your trekking pole. Pulling away from that corner stake and out on a bit of an angle. Marlin spike hitch, stake, and stake out. To make things simple, I simply match the height to my other trekking pole, tie another marlin spike hitch, insert through the tarp tie out, insert trekking pole, pull tight. Pull off all 3 corners with added pressure, adding tension to your entire tarp. One last marlin spike hitch. And stake it out. Final step, lay out your ground sheet. Tuck it in slightly so no edges are beyond the tarp itself. This will prevent any pooling and water running into your shelter. Using your tarp as a ground sheet, especially on abrasive ground, can damage your tarp, ruin the weatherproofing, and just the overall integrity of your tarp. Back to the lean-to with a ground sheet. It doesn't provide much head space, provides you great coverage and protection from the bottom.